good morning and welcome to the morning news update on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up this morning, Interior Minister unveils major boost for Ghana Immigration Service. The Ghana Immigration Service Governing Council approves new measures to strengthen border security and staff welfare. Aula Sewa urges authorities to enforce environmental laws and stop wetland encroachment. Also coming up in the news, over 7,000 farmers, landowners demand compensation over Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Road. The Minister for Interior has announced that government is constructing 8 new regional offices and procuring about 20 armored vehicles to strengthen the operations of the Ghana Immigration Service. Speaking during a working visit to Ghana Immigration Service headquarters, the Interior Minister said the investment is part of government's broader plan to modernize the service and improve border security nationwide. According to him, the new regional offices will decentralize operations, reduce pressure on existing facilities, and bring immigration services closer to the people. Procurement of the armored vehicles is aimed at enhancing mobility and the safety of officers. The Minister of Interior also affirmed government's commitment to improving the welfare of security personnel and providing them with the tools needed to combat illegal migration, human trafficking, and other cross-border crimes.
Under the level of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, retooling the security services is one of our main priorities since we came. And in the last 18 months, we've vigorously embarked on that. And for those of you who are in the the 5 regions in the north, you are aware about the 45 ballistic carbines that have we've started testing them, and I'm very optimistic that very soon we'll hand them over, and then for operational use. In fact, as it stands now, we have started using it together with the National Signal Bureau just to enhance the work that you've been doing. I'm equally happy to say that for those of you who are aware in your regions, we have started vigorous construction of 8 regional offices simultaneously, and each of them at various stages of completion. And I know of Volta region, I know of Asante, I know Tema, I know Western region, I know Bono, Sunyani is Bono region, and then we also have Central region, and then Savannah regions. All of them going up concurrently because we realize that space for your operation is a serious challenge, and all of them. Our target is that in the next 6 to 8 months, worst case scenario, in about 10 months, we want to get all of them operational and ready for use. Equally so, I will see the crowdness at the headquarters. And yes, we came to meet a situation, but there were a lot of challenges with the contract, but thank God now we've been able to streamline. Since I came, His Excellency has always said, if it's not broken, you don't try to refix it. But if there are challenges, try to see how you can overcome the challenge. Our aim is not to just come and reinvent the wheel. So we managed to work around with the same contractor to get the framework better placed so that he can control. And I'm very optimistic that very soon we'll see vigorous construction of the head office so that we'll have a befitting headquarters. So when you are coming to the headquarters, you can come with your head high, knowing that the place is not choked and congested. There's a lot that is going on. I mean, we'll procure vehicles, additional vehicles to support the operations, and we are currently in the process of procuring about 20 armored vehicles to support your operations in the most difficult terrain of our country.
The Governing Council of the Ghana Immigration Service has approved a new package of measures aimed at boosting border security operations and improving the welfare of personnel. The decisions were taken at the Council's latest meeting, chaired by the Minister for Interior, Muntaka Mumbarak. According to the Council, the new measures include the upgrade of border patrol logistics, enhanced training for officers, and the provision of better accommodation and medical support for staff deployed in remote areas. A statement issued after the meeting said the interventions were designed to address operational challenges faced by officers and to improve efficiency in managing the country's borders.
It's further testament to your tactical discipline, operational competence, and unwavering dedication to national service. Distinguished guests and officers present, when I assumed office as chairman of the Governing Council, I pledged to provide leadership grounded in the realities of the field, collaboration, institutional responsiveness, and strategic transformation. I'm pleased to state that, together with the Controller General and management of the service, we are steadily delivering on that commitment. In collaboration with the Controller General, the Governing Council undertook operational visits to the Accra International Airport, as well as the Greater Accra and Tema Regional Commands, to gain first-hand insight into the operational environment and the conditions under which the officers serve. These engagements afforded the Council invaluable and unfiltered perspectives that now directly inform our policy direction and institutional reform agenda. It is on the strength of these realities that the Council has approved for the establishment and institutionalization of key policy proposals: the creation of an agricultural department, the elevation of the border management department to a directorate, the establishment of GIS fuel stations across the regions, the introduction of a staff endowment fund, the rollout of a mutual health insurance scheme for officers, and the adoption of transfer guidelines. Collectively, these initiatives are intended to enhance operational efficiency, improve staff welfare, strengthen institutional resilience, and position the Ghana Immigration Service as a modern, responsive, and forward-looking security institution capable of meeting emerging national and global migration challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, I also had the honor of leading a delegation.
The Executive Director of Eco-Conscious Citizens has called on government and regulatory agencies to strictly enforce environmental laws and act decisively against illegal development on wetlands. In an interview, Ewula Sewa acknowledged that citizens have a constitutional duty to protect the environment. However, the primary responsibility to prevent encroachment and safeguard natural resources rests with duty bearers. According to her, all residents can report violations. Enforcement and prosecution must be carried out by the relevant state institutions. She urged government to demonstrate political will by demolishing illegal structures, prosecuting offenders, and ensuring that planning laws are upheld.
Of course. Residents need to be responsible. The Constitution says that it's the duty of every citizen to protect the environment. We need to be responsible. We can't just be throwing litter everywhere, using the gutters as dustbins. We cannot do it irresponsibly. Of course, we should be held accountable. But that is why we have laws and regulations. And that is why we have duty bearers. Because it is recognized that in every society, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have those who are lawless and those who behave lawfully. So it is up to the duty bearers to ensure that the proper thing is done. Buildings are not put up in a day. It takes some time. When we find out that our wetlands, our Ramsar sites are being encroached, what do we do about it? The PG has been a bone of contention for a long time. Takumono. You know, and the authorities don't do anything. I remember receiving a call a few months ago that the Kweki, people were bringing rubbish to dump on the Kweki so they could build. I managed to contact the regional minister on Facebook and informed her. You see, it comes to a stage where the duty bearers also have to do the needful. They have to do the needful. Residents may be engaging in unlawful behavior. That is why you are there. That is why there's enforcement. But if you just watch them, then of course you're more accountable in the sense that it is your duty to ensure that our laws are obeyed. You have the apparatus at your disposal to deal with them. An individual can only report the lawlessness to the authorities. But if they choose to do nothing about it, we have a dilemma.
More than 7,000 farmers and landowners affected by the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway project are demanding compensation for the destruction of their farms and properties. Speaking to the media, some affected farmers allege that government surveyors moved on to their lands without prior notice, cutting down economic trees and food crops worth thousands of cedis. According to them, the delay in compensation is threatening their livelihoods, which unable to plan for current farming season. Project officials are yet to respond to the compensation concerns raised by the affected communities. Meanwhile, civil society groups have called on the Ministry of Roads and Highways and the Ministry of Finance to expedite the payment process to avoid further hardship for the affected families.
So, Ombeba na omo ba no assemblyman for ye announcement anan krefie samra no na ye be fadman for ye be tia woka ansa na ya shedi madinase enti ma obi anko na sase so enya djuma sa udia roba udia le fofo amebia udia koko mebia wusi udanjai what as I say, I'm so would you see that? I'm not catching us. With me now, could see the before from now. Your body, who said, why you're not a new one, what cat as well? And the young soul, yet the Ghana Vandi, and the Yagatim 40, Yajay, almost 70. Yet, no one say, I'm bossy. Empo ekwani ma ye no omo to be bidin omo say that will support asere say ye ko ya say asisi tu omo di ni ma bi da prayer enti omo ya chocho ye di wa o pese wo say nya ye cho o pese wo ye ya cho omo ya tire na ye hu say bo so nya san cho no omo amma enti empanyifo to anamount of Ghana highway for e water plan ye dey say to them amo kire ya kwan cry e ko sia panyin na kasa chief executive officer our Ghana highway o ye di amo for perfect o say ye o de yanko obi a order jumadina no director of council ono so say ka kire ye say won ka na ye ready the Betua office amero emesimle yantoka the person yade enkramado mama ento ekowasofo so omaba any highway for ya jisika
me dan nyina asem Again, I say, I'm a fan, and 3 days, so I send it, but I don't have book. And just say that the venom put to you, I'm a dear. This year, I said, I'm going to chance and one I'm the good. And so, several market to me talk about the higher. Oh, I found the how the brain, I bring your poor night yet, Simon. And then this year, I have a son. My relative means that you have a pen of the fire side. A corner of the top, but I want to picture. I have a beer. So I want to chest down a rubber assassin. I see me. I know. As a message, yes, always be there. Come on, I'll come with him. Omo daibu but that's not what we so ama the person you think say sanke ni bia it's the tell oje me ma say apan no boy next compensation of the mayor of mayor forum of mayor minus the bla na mo tell it nka aja ya ni ho ya baba ya mo say be bia ana say wa ja ya bia boy ja ya bu ya ho ko kwa hu ba bia na fa sesi akwa be 3 months me go toilet go gas kan let me ya bia esi aba ya ni abre onye bibi ma ya ya sa bia ya de rent na.
The Ghana Railway Development Authority has signed a 5-year agreement with Modern Express Service Logistics to transport up to 300 containers daily from the Tema port to the Pone industrial area. The agreement is part of government effort to decongest the Tema port and promote the use of rail for cargo movement. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Appel, said the initiative will improve efficiency in cargo transportation and reduce pressure on roads. According to him, the project is expected to create jobs directly and indirectly while also cutting down the cost and time of moving goods to and from the industrial area. Officials of Modern Express Service said they are ready to commence operations and have invested in the necessary equipment to meet the daily target of 300 containers.
Ghana Railway Authority and Maersk Logistics have now signed a contract in front of our Honorable Minister for Transport, whereby initially we are going to do 300 containers with a further uptick up to 600 containers per day. This means a lot. It means that we are now going to move the 300 containers from Tema Harbour all the way to Pone Industrial Area via rail and also road. The initial contract is a 5-year contract between us and Maersk Logistics, of which we are going to support with all the lifting equipment and also the trackers needed to do this. This is the most important thing here. We are going to run 24-hour economy. And now initially, because of the 300 containers, we are going to have one job for 2 people and we are going to run 2 shifts, which is in line with His Excellency the President 24-hour economic policy. Also, in terms of the Volta Economic Corridor, this is the beginning of it. And as and when that, as my minister rightly pointed out, we will look at potentially expanding our fleet and wagon capacity to be able to take more load. We are all aware that at the moment as we have over 3,000 containers stuck at the port for Dakar. This must be decongested so our port becomes much more efficient. On the other side as well, we are going to create jobs and opportunities along the Volta corridor. We are going to create opportunities for the very people who live along the corridor, which is also in line with our manifesto. As the minister correctly also pointed out, passenger service is nice to have. It provides social value, but it's very expensive to run. Just to give you an initial data, since through the directive of the minister that we initiated the Tema to Mpakadan railway line, we have spent roughly about 28 million cedis, overhead, fuel costs. We buy the fuel in dollars, vegetation clearing, and also payment salaries, oil top-ups, spare parts management, and other things. The revenue intake of since October 2025 is about 1.2 million. It tells you how much we need. So this services is going to provide an avenue for us to cross-subsidize.
In business, government has settled about $300 million in Eurobond payment ahead of schedule, marking another major step in debt service obligations. Sources says the payment was made on Thursday and included 525.2 million in principal and 174.8 million in interest. With this latest transaction, Ghana's total payment to Eurobond holders have now reached 2.1 billion since January 2025. In line with the terms of Eurobond debt exchange program, the payment was executed through the government's planned financing arrangement without placing undue pressure on the country's foreign exchange reserve. Officials said the transaction formed part of ongoing effort to meet external debt obligations in an orderly manner. The latest settlement reduces Ghana's outstanding Eurobond debt and is expected to strengthen investor confidence in the country's debt management framework. It also signals the government's continued commitment to prudent macroeconomic management. Sources indicate that government has retreated its commitment to maintaining sound public financial management practices. It says this approach will ensure the timely servicing of Ghana's debt obligations while safeguarding macroeconomic stability. To sports, Black Queens head coach Kim Las has named a provisional squad for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco. The 27-player squad consists of players who have been around the national team in recent years. With the addition of youth players, the squad is headlined by Captain Portia Boache, with experienced players Grace Asantewa, Cynthia Kolan, Alice Kusi, Evelyn Bedu, Jennifer Kujo, and Chantel, as well as Priscilla Edubia, in all included. The provisional list also includes home-based players. The Black Queens are expected to resume camping in readiness for the Women's African Cup of Nations, which will be staged in Morocco starting later this month. Ghana will compete in Group D, where they face Cape Verde on July 29, Cameroon on August 2nd, Mali on August 6th, with all three matches scheduled to be played at the stadium in Casablanca. In showbiz, the founder of Heaven Gate Ministries, Prophet Nicholas Osei, known as Kumchacha, has praised the president and his administration in a recent interview. Speaking in an interview, he described the government as one that delivers good governance. Kumchacha, who has publicly backed the National Democratic Congress and the president on several occasions, said ahead of the polls he openly endorsed the presidential bid and urged Ghanaians to vote for the NDC. He disclosed that when President Mahama invited pastors to a meeting, he mobilized about 70 pastors from different parts of the country. The outspoken preacher also said Ghana's economic situation has improved since the NDC assumed office in January 2025. Kumchacha further commended the Mahama administration for reducing the number of ministers compared to the previous government, indicating that the move was a positive step towards cutting government expenditure. On Global Update, the Africa Governance Center has participated in Jose Lito Jara plenary meeting of the Permanent Conference of Political Parties of Latin America and the Caribbean in Mexico City, marking a step forward in effort to deepen democratic governance cooperation between Africa and Latin America. The center was represented by its executive chair, Ms. Benedicta Lassie, and executive director, Professor Nelson Opon, following a formal invitation. The invitation, according to AGC, reflects the long-standing partnership between both institutions and their shared commitment to promoting democratic governance and political cooperation. The African Governance Center's participation builds on Memorandum of Understanding signed during the 2025 African Political Party Summit, which established a framework for collaboration on democratic governance, political party development, leadership training, institutional strengthening, and knowledge exchange between the two regions. The plenary brought together political leaders, party executives, policy makers, diplomats, and international partners from across Latin America. Discussions focus on strengthening democratic institutions, enhancing political dialogue, promoting inclusive governance, and reinforcing international cooperation among actors committed to democratic values and political stability. In a statement, the African Governance Center said it was honored to contribute to the discussion while reaffirming its commitment to advancing interregional collaboration. The Africa Governance Center also noted that collaboration between Africa and Latin America presents opportunities to address shared governance challenges while promoting democratic resilience, citizen participation, and accountable leadership. During the meeting, Senator Alejandro Moreno was re-elected president of COPAL. The African Governance Center congratulated him on his re-election and expressed confidence that his leadership will further strengthen cooperation among political parties in Latin America and deepen engagement with African partners. And that's it on the morning news update. Thank you so much for making time with me. I am Deborah Adoso. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials. From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Only on GhanaTalks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning to you, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the second segment of the morning show. Yes, on the first segment, we actually had a technical hitch, and then due to that, we weren't able to, stream online and also on our social media platform. But this time around, the issue has been resolved. And we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, and also on X as Ghana Talks Radio, and also on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. My name is Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu, and this is your morning companion. This morning we are going to keep you company with all the news, with all the topical issues happening right here in our country. And as you know it, on the second segment, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issues. They'll be sharing their informed perspectives on matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. This morning, I have right here in the studios with me Mr. Samet Kwache, the NDC Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Kwache, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
A very good morning to you too, Miss Esnam.
Hope all is well.
It's been His grace and mercies.
We thank God, and I hope you were not affected by the floods.
Yes, that was a question I was about to ask you.
Oh, we were not affected. I mean, I wasn't affected.
Okay, so
our workplace wasn't affected as
for my constituency, it will be very hard for us to experience such.
Why? What constituency is that?
Ekwapem North.
Oh,
mountains,
okay. Yes.
Every to Ekwapon that area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you are the people that bring the water to us.
Oh, not really.
Right here, down here.
When you come to the constituency is very clean. Ekwapem North, coming from Bosoma City to Mampon, all the way to Adoso and those kind of, the place is very clean. We do our things in that order. Not to say people in the other parts don't do their things, but this kind of things, no matter what and how you look at it, sometimes human errors are part of what we saw last weekend. It's very bad. It's very bad. I wish
very bad.
It doesn't happen again in our motherland.
You're just hoping so. Are you saying that your place is not flooded because people are not dumping rubbish and also the indiscipline of those living in that community, or simply because it's a mountainous area? So probably it will be hard for it to get flooded.
You see, previously there has been places that when it rains heavily in Accra, it doesn't flood. But what happens last week, you saw new places being
flooded as well.
Yes. It shows how as a country we have been doing our things in a very wrong way. Sometimes you'll be in a car, especially at dawn. You'll be in a car, then somebody would throw a black rubber away, refuse from the house, which is very terrible.
I see.
Usually those or the entire area doesn't flood. But in recent times, the place gets flooded whenever it rains. So no matter what government interventions that will be putting into place, we have to also change certain behaviors of ours if we really want to build a better and a stronger Ghana because all these things forms parts. Imagine this flood, the cost that it has brought to the neck of the taxpayer. That money could have been used to build schools and stuffs. This one, when I was coming, I was keenly checking our routes, and let me use this opportunity to also call on the Minister of Routes and Highway. That already the government is trying its best to fix our routes, but after this flood, you can see some potholes and stuffs. It's better we do it early before it destroys in a very terrible state.
That means that there have to be a refill.
Yes, sure.
Again, I think we've seen on social media, not just on social media, but according to reports, we've seen the military personnel, going around and giving us a very pictorial a visual of how some areas were affected, and also buildings that have to be demolished. Yeah, I think the pictures are online if you go to some of our sister stations, and I think our media on our platform on Instagram too, we have it there. We've seen the deputy minister, the deputy chief of staff, Stan Dogbe, in collaboration with the Minister for Works and Housing, and also the security personnel, the military personnel, also going around to, make sure that they put things in place. The areas that have to be desilted and all of that. Work are actually going on. We've seen machines on drainage system already, on drainage, and even in some big gutters, we've seen them already taking out some of the debris from the drainage. But aside that, yesterday President John Dramani Mahama announced a 2 days set aside to do a general cleaning. That will be on July 10th and July 11th, and he has urged all CEOs, chief executive officers to come out in their numbers, all ministry to come out in their numbers and make sure that they work. And on Saturday, the citizens are going to join as well. Looking at this initiative and the announcements coming from the president, do you think that is going to significantly reduce flood?
Absolutely. I think the president have shown enough should I say humor to this. The presidents have shown enough commitment to our flooding issues, and I think the call is in the right direction. I also suggest that our military personnel, after this, the Sultan and after all those kind of, the military personnel should be on our streets.
They should be deployed.
Yes,
everywhere.
On our streets with kings and staffs to change the attitudinal posture
behavior,
of Ghanaians. Because remember, at the time of COVID, yesterday I was thinking about this. At the time of COVID, when people heard that, if you go out, they will cane you and those kind of people were in their house.
Yeah.
This when you are from mountains to Accra, Medina, there is this overpass that you are not supposed to cross the road. You are supposed to use the overpass. People try to cross it, but whenever there is these police personnel on the street, you see them marching to the overpass. So I think it's about time that we deploy our military personnel and our security personnel on the street, so that people would be disciplined to avoid this kind of things. Because sometimes this flooding issue, there are innocent ones who are also affected as well. There are certain people who do their things in the right direction, but because maybe somebody have built in a waterway or somebody's human error, the person was also affected. So I think after this step, the president and the government have to take it upon themselves to issue a directive through the chief of defense staff and then the IGP as well, so that when we see you throwing refuse on the streets, maybe when they come around, you are selling and there is a choked of refuse in the gutter in front of you, they cane you, and then next time you won't do it again.
I think deploying of military personnel on our street is going to help us a lot. Immediately they catch you doing the undoable, they grab you, they will beat you. Because for the military, you obey before you are going to complain.
Yes.
They are actually going to do what they will do. They will take the action before they listen to what your explanation. So I think for deploying of the military personnel on our streets and also in our communities is going to go a long way. But aside that, is there any long-term solution you think the government can also, because looking at this solution, 2 days for just cleanup, we know certain areas also do cleanup, especially right here in Accra. When you go to Accra, the central business market, when you go there, every first Saturday in every month, they do general cleaning. But what about our communities? What are we doing? What are the MMDCs doing? What are MCs doing? What are the assemblymen doing? What are the MPs doing about this? We need a long-term solution. The announcement alone about a 2-day general cleaning,
so
it's definitely a short-term solution.
Yes. So even as I said, my suggestion to this call can also help. And with that, you see, in Ghana, our problem is enforcement of the law.
We have beautiful laws on paper.
Yes. This thing that we are talking about, building in waterways and stuff.
And then all of that.
We have it in our laws, yet enforcement becomes very difficult.
Yeah, but are people punished when they build in waterway, or the only punishment we actually give to these people is just demolishing their buildings?
You see, sometimes, as Ghanaians as we are, the emotional games are sometimes too much.
Emotional games, you say?
Yes. A government will come to power, will try to enforce the laws, and then people will be threatened. Recently, I don't know if you have chanced on Honorable A+
video. His video.
Yes. When you take it into consideration, maybe you might think, oh, A+ is arrogant, A+
and
is
being
this.
harsh. Yeah.
Yes. But what he was saying was the reality.
Right.
You build in waterways, then the place will be flooded. Then you come MP, MCE, MP, assemblyman. Meanwhile, you knew that, oh, where I'm building is a waterway. You will get up, package refuse from your house, go and throw it in the gutter, thinking that maybe you are doing somebody. But at the end of the day, it will rain. Then the effects would come back to you. It will come and hit you. Then you'll be crying, MP. Yesterday, I chanced on a video where former President Akufo-Addo, at the time, after a heavy rain like this, met the press and said, if we don't stop this kind of things, we throw refuse away, we build in waterways, he will not instruct anybody to come and give any individual money. At the time, and we also politicize everything. This demolition exercise, it's one thing that would help, but you will see opposition members going to hide behind those affected individuals when they come threat them. This kind of things doesn't help. When it rains, the rain doesn't know whether you're an NDC member or MPP member. It affects all Ghanaians.
Everybody.
It doesn't look at political colors. So why don't we change our minds, enforce the laws and do the right thing at the right time to avoid this kind of natural disasters?
It's going to go a long way when it comes to Ghana, solving the flooding issue. As the president mentioned earlier, it's a shared responsibility. You play your part, the government play its part, and then we see the results we want to see.
Sure.
But if the government is playing its part and you as an individual, as a citizen of Ghana, you are not playing your part, how then do we move forward as a country? So that with the issue of flooding, it's still ongoing. Areas have been still taken care of. Debris are taken out of the drainage and also our gutters, and they are clearing the path for the free movement of water. So whilst you're on social media and then you are scrolling through the net and looking at all the contents, do well to also visit some of the credible media houses. Ghana Talks Radio on Instagram. You just go there, you go and see the pictures of how the military personnel and also the ministers, the deputy chief of staff and also minister for housing and works are doing it. Go and see how it is being done there, and that should tell you that we have a long way to go. You do your part and I will do my part, and we are good to go. Right, Mr. Kwache, I think at this juncture we are going to be delving straight into the main topic for discussion this morning. And for this morning, what we have on board is the arrest of the NAFCO CEO, and if indeed the deputy attorney general has deferred or breached the law or the court, or has disobeyed the court. And we are also going to be looking at government paying and Eurobond debts ahead of scheduled time. These are the two topical issues we'll be looking at. So with the issue of Hanan, one question people keep asking is, I believe you're already abreast with it. We actually discussed it yesterday,
yes,
but it's still up for debate. And
you also have a message here.
Yes. So what I want to ask is that Mr. Hanan was picked up at the airport due to an alleged suspect or information the Deputy Attorney General had that he tried to move into his bank account and then empty his account, which has been frozen. So due to that, he was being picked up. But mind you that he was granted permission by a court to go visit his optician from the 4th of July to the 12th of July in UK. But upon his arrival at the airport, upon reaching the airport, he was picked up by security personnel due to intelligence he gathered that he tried to allegedly tried to empty his account, which has been frozen by the courts. And then one question keeps popping. Has the Deputy Attorney General breached the law or disobeyed the court by preventing Mr. Hanan from traveling to the UK to meet his doctors? Yes, so that is it.
Okay, I'll come to the issue, but with your kind permission, let me read your message to you. My brother Oti at the Kwapem North constituency said I should tell you that Mr. Sami Kwache, kindly tell Madam Host that we in Kwapem North are very safe here. If she wants, she can come and stay with us.
Oh, really?
That's a message from my brother Oti.
Okay.
Oti, a very good morning to him.
Right. It's good to know that in Ekwapen North, you people are disciplined and you are neat as well. We hope you continue on that tangent. Yeah.
I'm coming to the issue, but even coming here today was very difficult for me.
Why?
When it comes to the constituency, everybody is down.
Why?
A demise of our dedicated and hard-working constituency secretary.
Oh, I see.
He will be laying in states coming Friday at Adorso, that area, in the constituency. So when it comes to the constituency, it's a very difficult times for us to bear. Honorable
Sorry
Isaac Hilaman Bacha goes to rest this weekend. We call on all sympathizers, all lovers, all friends, and everybody, party members, to come and then pay a last respect to the dedicated and hard-working constituency secretary, Honorable Isaac Hilaman Bacha, the constituency chairman, everybody in the constituency, Honorable Dan Kofi Awere, who is the constituency chairman. It's not easy for him at all, and it's not easy for everybody, for the demise of our constituency secretary.
So sorry for the loss.
Yes.
Right.
Let me come to Mr. Hanan's issue.
Yeah.
You see, in this country, if we don't change or desist from certain kind of actions, it will go a long way to affect citizens, the taxpayers. Today, where is Honorable Ken Uforiata? a man who has allegedly duped this country is nowhere to be found just because of politics. The taxpayer who sells in the traffic contributes tax to the development of this country. The one who has been appointed or who has been given a political position to steward activities of the state also come and serve, dupe the country, and when it's time for accountability, then we will be crying.
It's alleged.
And so, yes, so allegedly. So I've not mentioned his name anyway.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that politically, when appointees are being called after stewardship to come and account, then we start crying. We start insulting. We think that, oh, government are persecuting and all kind of. If there is anybody to keep mute and keep shut about this issue, is the former AG, Godfrey Yebu Adame, lawyer. If we are a serious country, by now, Godfrey Adame shouldn't call himself a lawyer in the first place to talk about law.
Why do you think so?
The GBA should have quashed his license or seized the license by now, because in the previous government we all had allegations of what happened.
What are these allegations?
Allegations that he was tempering a witness statement. He was calling witnesses to come and bear false witness against accused individuals, so that at the end of the day, whether hook or crook, they will go to jail.
In what particular cases?
Case involved the current finance minister, Ato Forsen, and is it Sebi Abongo? There was an allegation of an audio where he called the witness that he should come to court bear false witness. This issue was all over the country, but yet there was no action taken by the GBA. The current Attorney General, Justice Seremsai, Deputy, and his boss, Dr. Dominic Aini Akutinga, have demonstrated that when we talk about real custodians of human rights and even our constitution, democracy at large, the NDC is a beacon of it. Remember on Sunday when Mr. Hanan was picked up from the airport. Yesterday the case was processed to court.
Yes.
Because the AG knows very well that you can't just pick somebody at the airport, then send the person to a security custody without using the right channels or the right steps afterwards. So yesterday the case was processed to court for the court to sit on the case, and then as to whether what the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Seremsai, and the Attorney General himself, Dr. Dominic, did was wayward our constitution, the court would only determine that. But what I want to say is that...
But the court, the wife of Hanan has actually applied for habeas corpus, to seeking for the whereabouts of his husband, because as it stands now, he's in the custody of BNI, and his lawyer and his wife has been denied access to him. So it's said to be that particular appeal that they made is set to be processed in court on July 10th.
Yeah, so for that one, I think it's in the right direction.
It's in the right direction.
Yes, when you are being picked up by the states, at least you should get access to your legal counsel.
Yeah.
And maybe one or two other people. So for the appeal, I think it's in the right direction. Me, I've said on several times that our laws are there for us to test. So if you think at a particular point in time, there are certain things that you don't agree with, you go to court, test the laws and see what the law says. So the appeal by the man's wife and his legal counsel is something in the right direction. Sometimes we have to use processes than just coming out to rant, coming out to cry for sympathy. As I said, if they have appealed to the courts, I hope and believe that the court will give them a hearing on that, so that at the end of the day, wherever the man is, they will see him. I know what the Deputy Attorney General is doing is not something it's not something in his own interest, but something in the interest of the states. Because the question we should all ask ourselves is that if the Deputy Attorney General decides to harass Mr. Hanan, what exactly would the Deputy AG and the AG himself get from? They won't get anything. They are just servicemen serving the whole nation. And I think we should give them our massive support for the little they have demonstrated. On several times, I have criticized them a lot. In as much as they belong to my party, I also belong to the party. I have criticized them. When the government came to power, I think at a point in time, they were sleeping on the job. So every day I was criticizing them. Now they are working. I think we should give them that working space to work effectively, so that at the end of the day, as the NDC promised, that there has been several allegations of corruptions, we will see the end details of what the issues are.
But in your opinion, why do you think Mr. Hanan has actually been arrested?
So I want to strictly go by what the Deputy AG wrote on his social media.
Yeah, on his Facebook
page concerning an allegation of Mr. Hanan trying to empty his frozen accounts to leave the country. One thing that we should all ask ourselves is that if what the Deputy AG wrote on his Facebook wall is anything to go by, why would a person do that if indeed Mr. Hanan thinks he is not guilty of whatever allegations that has been leveled against him? Whilst I'm here, if you tell me that, oh, Sammy, before I came to the studio, you were here, but maybe Debbie or Reggie told me there was a bottle of water here, you have drank it. Is it true? I say it's false. There are cameras here. Then you tell me that, okay, leave your phones here, move out, let's check the camera, the pictorial evidence of whatever transpired here. Then I agree. Then another person enters here, I tell the person that sneak and pick my phones for me. What does it mean? If indeed I'm not to be blamed of whatever has been caused, I have to wait for all due steps to be taken. Then at the end of the day, I would be freed or released from whatever stress I'm going through. So if what the Deputy AG, Justice Sai wrote, is anything for Ghanaians to go by, then I think the AG department have a case against Hanan. Because your account has been frozen, and that was an order from the courts that they freezes your account until the final determination of the matter. And then you decide to allegedly empty the account. Is that the right way? So I think if we are to strictly go by that, the Deputy AG's call is in the right direction.
It's in the right
that
direction.
We have to all support.
Right. So do you think that he breached the law?
No.
You don't think he breached the law?
Yes.
Or you think that he should have just allowed Mr. Hanan to leave, despite having intelligence he gathered that he allegedly or suspectedly wanted to empty his account, despite the courts giving him the permission to go to the UK to meet his doctors?
Yes. One thing that we should all ask ourselves first is that, did the courts ask Mr. Hanan to empty his account allegedly? No. The courts gave him the permission to travel for some days, but the courts didn't say he should empty his account before leaving.
But is his account still frozen as it stands now? Because hearing from his lawyer, he said that all the charges that was leveled against him previously has been taken off, and that automatically means that his account has been unfrozen.
No, I think from what I saw from the court documents, that is false.
How sure are you that is false? Based on what grounds would you say that is false?
Yeah, so Mr. Hanan told the court that he was traveling to go and see his optician. And then the court granted that to him. But the court never said when he is going, he should empty his account. And the AG is also saying that, no, your account has been frozen. So an attempt to empty it is something that goes against the court orders. And one thing that we should all bear in mind is that, assuming without admitting that on that very Sunday, Mr. Hanan was allowed to leave the country. And then later on, like yesterday, the AJ would come organize a press conference and tell Ghanaians that we have realized that before Mr. Hanan left the country, he emptied his frozen account. Just imagine what Ghanaians would have been saying about the government, meaning the government is not doing his work. So I think the deputy AG and the AG department are just trying to be proactive on certain matters, because we usually say the body of the dead should always be a testimony to the living. We have seen kinds of these actions before. The AG doesn't want it to happen again later to disappoint Ghanaians. No. They are just trying to do things in its right direction. And the reason why I was saying the AG has not breached our constitution or our laws is that I would have been very angry and I wouldn't have supported this if after arresting Mr. Hanan, for example, by now the case hadn't been sent to the courts. I wouldn't have supported that from the AG. But right after picking the man on Sunday, the next day, in less than 24 hours, the case was processed to court. Don't we think it's a sign of commitment to our constitution than rather politicizing it that this is a state persecution and stuff? What the AG has done demonstrates clearly that when it comes to human rights, the NDC, as I said earlier on, are custodians of it. Because we all know if this had happened in the time of the MPP, it would have been a different story. Because Ghanaians from 1992 have always experienced bad aging services under the leadership of the MPP whenever they are in government. Remember the famous Akufo-Addo versus Chachu-Chikata? When Akufo-Addo was aging, what happened was an eyesore. When Godfred Yeboah-Dame also came as an aging, it was a different story altogether. But we always experience a good leadership in that department whenever NDC is in government.
Are you sure?
Oh, absolutely.
So that means that the predecessors of that particular office didn't really do a great job.
Oh, sure. As I said, not only the last 8 years, but even the first 8 years of President Kufuor, that was when we saw a case, the president versus Chachu. That happened under demo, under the so-called learned lawyers at the time in MPP. Through the leadership of former President Akufo-Addo, we saw that. In recent times, we saw an AG allegedly trying to temper a witness just for the person to come and bear false witness against an accused person. So I think the NDC, whenever it's in power, try to demonstrate leadership in that particular department, and we should applaud the government and the AG on this for what they have done, because I would have never forgiven my party, my party members, and even the president himself, should Mr. Hanan had left and then later on there was a realization that he truly emptied his accounts. If that allegation is anything to go by, then it means maybe he would have choose to come back or not.
Well, as it stands now, his counsel, which is Godfred Odame, is asking for proof and physical evidence that indeed his client tried to empty his account, as the AG has reported. The deputy AG has reported.
So on
so
one
we're waiting
breath,
on the AG to.
So on one breath,
yes,
Godfred Adame is accepting the fact that his client's account has been frozen. On another breath, he's saying that
he should provide evidence.
No, on another breath, Godfred Adame is saying that
the account wasn't frozen.
Wasn't frozen. Which is which? If the account indeed wasn't frozen, why do you call on the AG to provide evidence? So, as I said, Godfred Adame himself has lost his credibility as a lawyer.
Well, as it stands now also, Godfred Dame, which is the counsel or the lawyer for Hanan, is also suing the AG for contempt of court for not allowing his clients to travel. Just as the court has, permitted them.
And so, the court will give a verdict on that.
On that particular.
Because, as I said, the AG did that in the interest of the state. And then, if the allegations are anything to go by, I think what Godfred Adame is saying won't wash. It won't work. If what indeed the deputy agent said is anything to go by, and he is able to deduce any evidence to show or support his claim, I think what Godfred Adame is saying would just be something like a mere joke.
Well, let's gain some insights as to why Godfred Dame is saying that his account wasn't frozen, because the charges that were leveled against him were actually taken off, and a fresh charge was leveled against his clients. Let's get into it. So the May 20th, 2026 Adenta High Court ruling. The Adenta High Court ruling on May 20th, 2026 sits at the absolute center of why the former NAFCO CEO was arrested at the airport. It created two completely opposing interpretations of the law between the state and the defense. Initially, the state filed 24 corruption counts against Hanan Abdul Wahab in late 2025. However, on May 5th, 2026, the Attorney General temporarily withdrew those initial charges to reconstruct their case based on newly uncovered evidence. They immediately rearrested him and filed a revised set of 20 criminal counts. On May 20, 2026, the Adenta High Court evaluated this aggressive maneuvering. The judge held that because the original case was fully withdrawn, the state's subsequent actions constituted to a fresh process altogether. The defense stand, which is led by Godfred Dame, the defense argues that a fresh process means all old investigative issues, including the October 2025 bank freezing order, which was announced by the Attorney General, which is Dr. Dominic Ayeni, legally expired and became fully null the moment the old case died on May 5th. Because the state did not request a brand new freezing order for the new case file, they claimed the bank accounts were legally opened. Now, this is what the Attorney General is also saying. The Attorney General's office argues that The underlying forensic investigation into the 78 million Ghana cedis investigation never stopped. They maintain that the court-sanctioned assets freeze remains active and continuous because the money is still considered the active proceeds of a crime. And the High Court is expected to definitely settle whether the old freeze carried out to the new case during the upcoming trial arguments. So this is how it actually happened. And this 78 million Ghana cedis investigation was initiated by Iyoko. Exactly. So that is how it actually went. I'm looking for the specific news story that actually said and that.
So Iyoko, from what you read,
yeah,
the agent is saying that.
Right, so I just got it.
Okay.
The assets freezing occurred as an investigative tool during the pre-trial phase to secure state funds, and Abdul Wahab was first arrested by economic and organized crime, and this initiated a month-long forensic probe into massive roads and unexplained wealth. And before the formal trial proceeds matured, Iyoko obtained an ex parte confirmation order from the Adenta High Court, and this order froze 10 million Ghana cedis Republic Bank fixed deposits, vehicles, luxury items, and multiple real estate properties. So the Office of the Attorney General filed the initial batch of, so it was initiated by forensic, order initiated by Iyoko. Yeah, you can proceed with your submission.
Yeah, so meaning the account was indeed frozen. From what the news story popping up.
Yeah.
Meaning the account was indeed frozen. So as I said, even in Godfred Yabua Dame's recent arguments that
they should provide evidence.
They should provide evidence, state clearly that indeed the account was frozen. So I think this case is a criminal charges.
Yeah.
We would have to wait, give some time for the court to do its work and then bring out the final verdicts on the matter. But until then, whatever the AG is doing about this corruption allegations is something, a call that we have to all support. So that at the end of the day, the mandate that was given to His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama would bear a good fruit than the usual political optics that these people looted the country, these people did that. At the end of the day, a new government will come. There wouldn't be any arrest or any actions against such individuals. But this time around, it seems we are moving from words to actions. So let's allow the agents department to fully do its work in compliance with our 1992 constitution. I know very well that Dr. Ayini, people from the opposite angle, the MPP side, people in the NDC side, know he is a very learned lawyer. Justice Seremsai also as well. So I think they know ins and outs of our constitution. They know the right thing to do. This time the NDC is correcting its mistakes in the Professor Mills era, where any case that was being sent, majority of the case that was being sent to the courts went against the states. The states ended up paying huge sums of money to people that took the state to court. This time around, the AG is working very hard to avoid those kind of things, because remember at the time Dominic Ayini, doctor, was the deputy AG, so at least he have enormous experience to act upon, so that at the end of the day fundamental human rights will not be infringed.
But do you think that the courts should allow a suspected criminal to go outside the country, outside the jurisdiction of the country? Because according to what I have read, the court actually gives you a leave, a specific duration to leave the court. But do you think that law should be looked at again to allow a suspected criminal or someone who is already in a legal battle or in a legal process to go outside the jurisdiction of the country?
I even think we should change certain parts of our constitution. The moment you take public services, after your stewardship, there should be some number of years that you cannot travel anywhere.
A number of years.
Yes.
That should restrict you from traveling.
Yes,
anywhere.
because sometimes criminal trials take years before the verdicts come out.
They come to light.
So I think maybe after serving as a public servant, an appointee, there should be some laws that restrict you from traveling outside. Even maybe in your last 6 months of service, you can't travel anywhere. You stay in the country with us. So that at the end of the day, when public servants take office, they will do what is right than you doing the usual thing, because those kind of things doesn't yield results. There has been people that allegations has been leveled against them. They seek permission, go out, and they never returns back. So I think those kind of things won't help. For example, as NDC is in power, I'll never sit here and say all appointees are saints. Maybe there might be one or two people that, as the president said, when you engage yourself in any bribery or corruption kind of activities, you face the loss. There are some people that maybe the moment they see that, oh, my party is leaving power, they will go out of the country. Remember, we have seen this kind of things both in the MPP and in my party as well. If not recently, that extradition process went as planned for Sednam Temaklu to return back to the country, what would have been the issue? A person who have served as a public servant too, a former finance minister who have served for almost 8 years, at least 7 years, all of a sudden says he won't come back again. He wants to even become a citizen outside the country. A man who once said he can't leave his sons and daughters here, Ghanaians, he was referring to Ghanaians as his sons and daughters. When things were very hard, people were requesting his resignation. He went to parliament and said he can't, in hard times, he have to take responsibilities as a father. Today, that father doesn't want to even come and look at the situation of his children anymore. So I think we should change certain part of our constitution. The moment you serve as a public servant, maybe for 5 years, you can't travel anywhere. You stay in this country, we eat together, we die, we bath, do everything together. If indeed you have not done anything, time would only be the ultimate judge. But for that part of the law that grants people the permission to go out of the country after service, I think it won't help. It can be a member from my party tomorrow, it can be a member from the opposite side, and I think when we are condemning it, we should condemn it once and for all.
Right. So for my reading, a person who is actually standing trial can travel, and in Ghana, being charged with an offense does not automatically prevent someone from traveling. The court may grant permission after considering flight risks and medical reasons, business, family matters, and compliance with bail condition. And the judge may also require the accused to return by a specific date. So, according to our laws in this country, a person can be granted leave, or a person standing trial can be allowed to, travel outside the country.
Yes, can be, meaning our laws are not automatic, that the moment you are standing criminal trials, you just go to court that I want to leave, go this way, then the court
it comes with a condition.
The state's lawyers can also challenge
that you shouldn't be allowed.
Yes, you shouldn't be allowed. Because I remember one of Abronye's cases, trials. He seeked, is it one to me or Abronye? One of them. He seeked the permission of the court to travel, and the agent rejected that plea.
Oh.
And you see, this Mr. Hanan's issue, the reason why I don't get it when people try to criticize the AG is that since the NDC came to power, he is not the only first person who have faced criminal charges and have requested to travel outside, that he will be blocked from traveling outside.
Was that the same procedural setting now also used to travel outside the country to seek for medical attention?
Yes.
Right.
I think for Sednam, he was outside whilst the court process was going on. And so the moment pronouncement came, she decided that no, I won't come
she
here.
She will not come, but she's back.
Yes.
And hearing from the Interior Minister, she's in custody.
This Hanan issue, as I was saying,
yes.
Professor Amiyawe Kumfi was standing criminal trials for SkyTrain. He requested to travel outside. The AG granted his plea. He went. The former NPP party chairman, Freddie Blay, was arrested. He said he wasn't feeling well. His plea was granted. Abronye filed a permission to the court that he was going for school or something.
Yeah. That was after he was asked to bring his passport.
Yes. His permission was granted until he decided that no, he won't bring the passport. Chairman Woon to me himself, when the party came to power, wasn't he moving out and in of the country? So the fact that somebody decided to move out of the country and he has been blocked doesn't mean that NDC is harassing individuals and staffs. No, I think we shouldn't follow that notion that the state is persecuting opposition party members. In any case, the question that we should all ask ourselves is that, is Dr. Hanan a flag bearer of the NPP? So if in any case the NDC want to do state persecution just to destroy the party, would Dr. Hanan be the one to be harassed? No, because we had people who were occupying high offices than what Dr. Hanan was occupying. So I think we should allow our laws to work. Immediately he was arrested, the AG the next day filed a process to the courts for a hearing. So I think that is in the right direction.
Yeah. So from Mr. Kwache's submission, we should take a good look at our law again. That actually allows a person on trial to travel outside the country. We should take a good look at it. From what he shared, per his opinion, he says that any public official, when you even leave office, after office, for a specific number of years, you shouldn't be allowed to travel outside the country. What do you also think as well? What are your thoughts? You can share with us in the comment section. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. So yesterday there was a new development on the case of Mr. Hanan, and court sets July 10th for habeas corpus hearing in former Buffer Stock CEO case. So Godfrey Dame, counsel for former Chief Executive Officer of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, Hanan Abdul Wahab Ali Duba, says the Accra High Court has fixed Friday for the hearing of a habeas corpus application challenging his client's continued detention. The application filed at the High Court's Specialized Division in Accra is seeking an order directing the Director of the Bureau of National Intelligence and the Attorney General to produce Ali Duba in court and justify the legal basis for his detention. The former Buffer Stock CEO was arrested by armed operative at the Accra International Airport on Saturday, July 4, 2026, as he prepared to travel abroad for a court-approved medical trip. And on Monday, July 6th, Dame said the hearing date was set after the application was moved on notice, but described the date as too far given the circumstances. He said the legal team will seek an abridgment of the date, arguing that the continued detention of his clients without access to counsel raises serious human rights concerns. So Dame further argued that the authorities' failure to charge Ali Dubai in office or file any formal application to justify his detention suggests that there may have been no legal basis for preventing him from traveling. And as I mentioned earlier, and this date was set to hear from Godfred Odame, who happens to be the legal counsel for Mr. Hanan, after his wife and his counsel notified the courts on a habeas corpus, And I'm wondering, you must be asking, what is the habeas corpus? What is the habeas corpus? Let me enlighten you on that briefly. So the habeas corpus is a writ ordering that a person be brought before a court or a judge, most frequently used to ensure that a person's imprisonment, detention, or commitment is legal. So all what they are asking is that, come and tell us why you actually picked up, what are the legal basis. That is the habeas corpus. So that is it. That is the new development.
Godfred Adame is saying that the date is too far.
Yeah, he said the date is too far, and as from the way things are looking, it looks like it's violating on his human right.
You see, sometimes double standards doesn't help. On one particular breath, this Chief Justice is speeding up criminal trials too fast. On another breath too is the date is too far. Hey, this country, if you want to build a country, we have to be honest as politicians. Yeah. Because on one breath, you are criticizing the Chief Justice for speeding up things. Remember, there have been cases which sometimes stay at court for as long as 9 years, 8 years. Mm-hmm. I'm a witness to a certain case that has been in court since 2019. We are in 2026. We are in 2026. So if now, through the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni, we are speeding up things so that cases in the court won't take that long, we are criticizing him. On another breath, when he decides to slow it down to, we say no. So as a country, what do we actually want as citizens? What do we want? And all this kind of things comes from the double standards of politicians. For political interests and political points. Cheap political gains is what we want, than doing the right thing for the future. I think we should desist from this kind of attitude. Godfred Adame should give us a break. Because, as I said, if the GBA is a fair association, he shouldn't have even called himself a lawyer to go and stand in the witness box to defend an accused person or a client.
Before we leave this particular topic, one general question I will actually want to ask is, looking at how the whole issue of Mr. Hanan is unfolding and security operative picking him up at the airport, right, there was an intelligence gathered that the suspects allegedly tried to empty his account. Do you think that we are aggressive enough? We are changing and looking at our attitude and our proactiveness towards fighting corruption?
Yeah, so as I said, if what the agent said at the end of the day, it comes out to be true or valid, meaning we are gradually changing from this kind of sitting there for last minute dangers. It's in the right direction.
Last minute dangers.
Yes.
That rings a bell.
Yes, I understand. For an AG to sit down and then later on come and set microphones and camera before him and tell Ghanaians that, Dr. Hanan left not knowing he has emptied his accounts. That would have been a serious and a huge blunder to the state. So for what the AG did, it shows how proactive the government has been in power.
Right.
Shows to certain matters that matters most to state citizens.
I see. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Kwache, for that brilliant submission. Remember that this is still your favorite online radio station. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV. We are streaming live on X at GhanaTalks Radio, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio. And I have a comment here from NK Obrempong. Great job, Samuel Kwache. You can equally share with us your opinion.
You know, he's my godfather, my boss, my daddy.
Oh, right.
Mr. Evans.
He's watching.
Ofosu Labi. I know he's watching.
Right.
Let me say a very good morning to him. Thanks for his services to the good people of Okuapemai and the Okuapem North constituency. He is a man without appointments, political appointments. Yet, when you come to the constituency, things that he do would boggle your mind. The grassroots there call him the grassroots president because of his benevolence and generous kind of nature to them. So let me greet him. A very good morning to you, Chief NK Obrempong.
Right, so you can equally share with us your opinion on this particular topic. If indeed, with the issue of Hanan, the Deputy Attorney General breached the law of the courts or breached the law. Share your thoughts with us in the comment section on GhanaTalks Radio TV. Right, let's move on to our next topic. Ghana settles US $700 million Eurobond debt ahead of schedule. The government of Ghana has fully settled a 700 million Eurobond obligation ahead of its due date, in what the Minister of Finance says it's another step toward restoring investor confidence and strengthening the country's fiscal position. And the payments, which was completed on July 2nd, 2026, comprise a $525.2 million in principal repayment and $174.8 million in interest payment. And according to the ministry, the payment was made through planned financing arrangements, meaning it did not place undue pressure on Ghana's foreign exchange reserve. And the latest repayments brings Ghana's total payments to Eurobond holders to $2.1 billion since January 2025 under the country's Eurobond debt exchange program. And the government says that this demonstrates its commitment to prudent debt management, macroeconomic stability, and honoring its obligations following the successive external debt restructuring. So ahead of time, we've been able to pay a $700 million debt to Eurobond. Yes. Should that actually tell us that indeed we have recovered? Is that a good sign?
I've said here before some time ago that we have an experienced driver now who is His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama and some experienced political appointees. I said that some months ago. And remember, the last time the President went to Parliament for the SONA, he said we should tighten our belts, because the speed he was about to take us was in a different level. This is a clear sign of prudent economic management, because if you're a president of the land and you turn out to be holding a bow, going out there, oh, we need food, we need food, we need this, we need that, and you are not managing your economic resources well, it comes back to hit the country. Remember, in the last 8 years, at a point, the whole world decided that no, we are a country that even when we come for loans, we don't want to pay, because at the time President Akufo-Addo was going around begging people that we own, states that we own, that they should just forgive us of our debts. And I said that if the MPP had stayed in power again in this current era, the country would have gone back to HIPEC.
Really?
Sure. Because at a point in time, we weren't able to service our debt. We weren't able to do anything. We were just doing hand to mouth, as Sarkodie said some time ago. We were just doing hand to mouth. The baby inya ni edini eto. Inya ni edina enam na ye bobo sia. Oh, yes remo mo hwe yin oyewu. That was what we were doing under the administration of Nana Akufo-Addo and the economic messiah, Dr. Alhaji Bawumia. That was what we were doing. The little we get, we eat. The little we get, we eat. Recently, Honorable Afenyo-Markins was telling us that the economic gains are on paper. This kind of things you don't eat. And I heard Dr. Amin, the injury time finance minister, also saying the same thing, and I was surprised. These are some of the positive signs when you manage your economy well. These are what you see. Remember at the time of the MPP, $2 million was used for SkyTrain, when even in that time, a train on land wasn't able to work under their era. But they decided that $2 million to Mr. Ameyawe Kumfi should go into SkyTrain. At the end of the day, it was for no work done. The money was squandered. $11.5 million for visibility study in Pualugu for no work done. Recently, as we started the show, we were talking about this flood issue. Over $43 million USD was given to Cecilia Brandapa, then to dredge the Odo River. Did we see any value for money? 97 million, close to 100 million was used for National Cathedral. No value for money. At the time, we used over $1.8 million to just go for a stone from Israel, that when we bring this stone here, when we pray as a country, God would listen. All this kind of mediocre activities happened under their era. And we ended up crashing the economy of the country. But this time around, through the leadership of the president and the government, we have been able to manage things well. Remember, the president came for almost 12 to 14 months. He had not gone for any external loan. We're just managing things from internal generated funds. And look at the kind of results that we are yielding. So one thing that it should tell us as Ghanaians is that sometimes when you give the country to somebody who is not ready to serve Ghanaians, these are some of the things you see. And when you give the country to an experienced politician, a politician who sleeps and thinks about his citizens, these are some of the positive signs that you would also get. People were supposed to get loan from Maslock, and it ended up going to politicians who decided that, oh, we have come for the loan through devious ways and means, we won't even pay. And citizens, our mothers from the markets, those selling on the street, traffics were suffering at the time. Fuel was going up as high as 23 Ghana cedis. Yet we are doing Kenke party. This time around, there has been no Kenke party, there has been no Wache party, whatever, Cocoa party, no. And we are seeing good results like this. Independence Day, that was being huge sums of money, has been stopped in the last 2 years. Over 20 million Ghana cedis that was used for those kind of activities has been stopped. And the last time, the minister said we have used, the minister in charge of government communication, Honorable Felix Kwachio-Fosu, said we have used less than 2 million Ghana cedis to organize Independence Day. Meaning we could have done better previously, but we decided that, oh, chop, let's chop and go. The country is not for us. And that is the clear nature of an MPP, a typical MPP member. They have never thought of Ghanaians. Even this Eurobond services, you will see them talking against very soon. You will see them. as I said, they are just chasing media clouds, media headlines. Let's come and talk. Let's come and talk. Oh, it seems we are sleeping. Let's come and talk. That's what they are doing. And as Ghanaians, as we are watching, it should serve as a big lesson for us not to give our country to this kind of people, this nation wreckers again, so that at the end of the day, the gains that we have achieved won't go back again.
Well, we've heard from you, and this is what an economist and also Professor Peter Korte has to also say, and he's calling on the government to complement its renewed commitment to external debt repayments with increased financial support for metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies and other public institutions, arguing that fiscal discipline should also be reflected in the timely release of domestic funds as well. And he described the early repayments as a positive signal to international investors and financial markets. He said the government should demonstrate the same level of commitment to funding critical public institutions that deliver essential services. In his words, and I quote, "But I would like to add that we should extend the same to the local economy. I mean, to institutions and the assemblies and other ministries, departments and agencies. They undertake activities, including waste management, including flooding-related issues. We should extend the same kind of commitment to them, but otherwise certainly a positive signal." So as he has said, he has added his voice, and he's saying that as we are aggressively paying foreign debt, we should also use that same commitment to also disburse monies to the local economy as well, to make sure that we see things done. This is what he has to say. Do you agree with him?
Yes. Let me address the professor's comments on the services of debt. Have not been disbursing funds for works to be done. Recently, we have been hearing from the road minister, Honorable Gavin Kwame Abuja, coming out that they are paying contractors. We have been hearing from the Agric minister, Honorable Dr. Eric Opoku. Father, let me greet you this morning. We have been hearing from him. We know the kind of wonders they are doing. All these kind of things comes from the disbursement of government funds. So I don't think any state institution or agency have been able to come out that, oh, we are unable to work effectively due to lack of funds. I think it's a gradual process. Something that was being destroyed for 8 years, it wouldn't take just 2 years to resolve it.
It will take some time.
It will take some time. Foreign investors are very necessary in building our country. We are here to be a developed country. We are still developing. And for you to develop, sometimes you need these foreign investors to come and support. And what the government has done by paying Eurobonds, servicing Eurobonds, shows a clear commitment of attracting foreign investors into the country to boost our economy as well. Because let's all bear in mind that if you're able to attract huge and many foreign investors into the country, the gains would even help us to service external, debt, as the professor said. So we are picking it one by one, doing it step by step, so that we'll gradually get there done. Doing anything in a haste like Akufo-Addo did, leaving Aferi and Syria Hospital, but rather sending money to go and build Agenda 111. Whilst at the time, those two hospitals could have given Ashanti region alone 750 bed capacity hospitals. They decided to build Agenda 111 for 40 bed capacity, 80 bed capacity, of which they couldn't even complete. But the money that was channeled into that could have completed Syria alone. part of the money could have completed those 2 hospitals, but they left those hospitals. E-blocks were left into the bush. They decided to build 6 units classrooms, whilst we had 18 units and 12 unit classrooms in our bush. They decided to leave it to rot and then build 6 unit classrooms. So I think prudent management also comes with doing what first thing first, important things first, and then following by whatever should follow.
But what does this actually mean to we Ghanaians? Is this something that we should actually see its impact?
Yes, it's something that we should cheer the government up. The reason why I'm
paying debt?
Yes. The reason why I'm saying this is that as a woman as you are, for example, when you are staying with your children, and then you send them, Kwame, Kwaji Emu Auntie Adwawa Echinamekutuya. Then tomorrow you send Ama, Kwaji Anwabra. Then you decided that even when you get money, you won't pay. You use it for something else. And then those people realize that do you think the next day when you send Kwame to go again, Kwame would go?
Okay.
It won't even attract anybody to give you anything on credit.
So just to be in the good books of this
foreign investors. Yes. So that at the end of the day, they'll see that, oh, these people, their economy is growing. Even when they are able to service their debts and stuff, so why don't I go and invest over there? But when a foreign investor sees that the country itself is going on a bankrupt, do you think anybody would bring his money here? No, that won't happen. So I think it's about time that we cheer the president and the government up for certain activities like this, because it helps very well to project the country out there in a good standing mood than just being beggars of give us maize, give us rice, like what Akufo-Addo did, going to ECOWAS for maize and rice without even paying them back. It took Honorable Eric Opoku and this government to service that as well. So I think it's about time we cheer certain appointees up for certain responsibilities that they are taking for the country.
So we should cheer them up.
Yes.
And then hearing from Mr. Samuel Kwache, the repayment or the debt payment of Eurobond should be something that we should be excited about, because it's going to attract more investors into the country as well, and we are going to be in the good books of investors. So we should be happy. That should, if they are paying the debts, that should be a sign that indeed the economy is growing. Anna, you can share your thoughts with me. Right. Thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This has been an interesting program and a very insightful, educative show right here this morning. I've held you through from 7 a.m. and it's 10:45. Unfortunately, our NPP communicator couldn't join us, but I'm hoping that, God willing, tomorrow we promise to bring
Was it an NPP member or?
Oh, sorry, it was actually a political analyst. Yeah. So that's it. Do you have any last words before we leave?
Before we leave, I want to officially greet the hard-working and the dedicated Agric Minister again,
Eric Opoku.
Honorable Dr. Eric Opoku. True leadership, it's not about just words, but action should follow. And that man has demonstrated that leadership is very essential, especially when you have experienced people manning the affairs of the country. The Agric Ministry have moved from a minister buying goods, food stuffs, to the ministry for people to come and then buy from there. From now, when you go to our markets, there are foods all over, because whatever you want, you will get.
But now tomatoes even one is 10 cents.
Yes, you see, there are certain food items that usually it comes in a season. Yes, so there are certain.
Ginger crowd there, we don't even talk about.
Yes, I know
and pepper.
The Agric Minister, Honorable Eric Opoku.
We are going through it too.
Yes, we are all going through it, because sometimes when you draw the budgets, certain things would come inside, then it would just destroy the budget. But I know very well that the dedicated agric minister, Honorable Dr. Ekopoku, is out there seeking for private investors to come and invest in our agric sector, so that agriculture is the backbone of this country. We should all bear in mind. And when you get a weak agric minister, meaning the country would be going backwards, like it was in the previous administration. Recently, we have a hard-working agric minister in Dr. Ekopoku. Again, let me greet Mr. Ivan Sufosulabi, popularly known as N.K. Obrimpong, the grassroots president of the president. Let me also greet all constituency members in Ekwapem North. And then today is exactly 2 weeks. I was given a mandate by the good people of Juma electoral area to serve as their communication officer. I'm most grateful and I'm ready to take responsibilities as a party executive.
Wow. Good news there. Congratulations to you.
I'm most grateful. And as I said, my brother Oti was watching, so let me greet him as well. He sent a message that if you want a place to stay at the mountains,
yes, I would love to come and live.
OT is ready to give you a place.
To give me a place to live.
OT is ready to give you a place to live
right.
at the mountains. So at
OT,
the appropriate time,
yes,
you contact
prepare a place for me.
I'll let OT prepare a good place for you.
So OT, prepare a place for me, please, on the mountains. All right, this has been interesting. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Thank you to my lovely viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for joining us. I believe you had a very interactive and also educative time right here on the morning show. This has been your morning companion and also your favorite online radio station. We'll come your way same time tomorrow at 7 a.m. Make sure you prepare for us.